The 2013 Benefits Selling Expo kicked off Sunday night with a party to celebrate Benefits Selling magazine's 10th anniversary. The intimate party was attended by clients, close friends, and employees of the magazine. Editor Denis Storey took a moment to speak with Kevin Trokey, President and CEO of Benefits Growth Network, about the changing role of the broker, and with Tanya Boyd, President of Tanya Boyd & Associates, on the impact that healthcare reform is going to have on smaller agencies like her own.
So Kevin, you're speaking here at the Benefits Selling Expo. What is your session about?
Well, the title's Redefining the Role of the Broker, but really the theme behind it is how can we more effectively lead our clients and our own agencies to higher levels of success. Really kind of focusing on, I think one of the fundamental problems and the challenges that brokers are facing is they don't effectively control their business, and healthcare reform has really exposed the vulnerability that comes from not having control. So really what I'm going to talk is about how can you take more effective control of your business, put yourself in control of your own destiny, at the same time not just drive your success, but drive the success of your clients. Kind of focus where those two overlap.
You mentioned healthcare reform, and I'm glad you did. Would you say a concrete first step in that is acknowledging that it's here to stay and getting past this denial that we've been sitting through for 2 years now?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I will talk tomorrow about all of these threats and challenges that have come of our industry in the past, and they kind of hit with a glancing blow, and we stand surviving stronger than ever. But this is a real threat. This is a real challenge. This is a game changer, and those that aren't willing to change their game, I think are going to see some dire days ahead of them.
What is your take on the role of the broker with regard to the carrier, that relationship, I should say?
I think it's still a critical role. I think the carriers play an important part. The broker needs to play an important part. They still need to work together very cohesively. We just have to recognize how can we create a healthier relationship there.
Bottom line, for you, after January, there's still a role for the broker.
I think there is a role for some brokers. I think there's going to be casualties in this, and I think that there's a lot of people that aren't willing to make the change, aren't going to be able to survive. But I think those that do will find a more critical role. I absolutely think employers out there, because of all of the challenges that have come to them as a result of the recession, they've cut back on training, they've cut back on education, they're running with leaner staffs. We've got this tidal wave of turnover that's going to be coming because as baby boomers start to retire, employers are going to have a stronger value proposition than ever before to attract and retain talent. They're going to try to be more strategic in terms of HR with a staff that's never been tested with those expectations, with a staff that's leaner than ever before, and they're going to need help to fill that strategic void. And I think that brokers that are willing to step up their game and fill that strategic void and take on that role, I think not only is there still a role for them, I think it's a greater role in greater demand with greater rewards than they've ever seen in the past.
So you did a panel this week. What did you talk about?
I was asked to talk about healthcare reform at the Dallas Association of Health Underwriters and how it is affecting agencies like mine.
How is it specifically affecting an agency like yours?
It is basically stressing my agency out.
Why your agency in particular?
You know what, I think because I'm a smaller agency, I'm not one of the big guys, I don't have all of the resources, so how am I going to survive during the storm?
That kind of speaks to the growth of mergers and acquisitions we've seen in the industry, the big agencies gobbling up all the smaller brokers.
Right.
Is that going to happen to you?
You know what, I've thought about it, I'm not going to lie, I've been approached by a couple of people, but honestly at this point I'm going to ride out this storm. I think it's a little premature. I think there's still a lot of opportunity to make a living in this business and not jump ship and go join somebody else.
What does a smaller agency like you bring to an employer that, say, the big guys don't?
Personal attention, of course. That's what we've always been about. Different strategies, different ideas. We don't have to follow the rules of the big corporate. You're going to do it this way and this way. We can kind of come up with our own ideas, identify what works best for them, create our own plan, our own strategies. We have a lot of flexibility.
Would you say that the reform, as it is now, is tilted in favor of the bigger agencies? Are they better able to adapt and operate under the constraints of this new reality?
I do think in many ways, yes. Of course, they've got more money, more resources. Of course, they can hire an attorney, they can hire a wellness person. I cannot.
What do you see for the employers? What are they struggling with most going forward? Are they aware enough about what's going on?
No, they're not. They're very confused, just like we are.
But you're helping them out, even though you're confused too.
Of course I am. Of course I am. I'm communicating. That's key. Tell them what's going on as you know it. Here's what I know today. Tomorrow it may change.
What are you hearing from employers specifically? Are they coming to you saying, how what's going to happen? What do I need to do? I mean, what
Of
are the
course they're
questions
saying
you're
that.
hearing? Right, but
Right.
specifically, what are
I
you
can't
hearing?
afford to do this. I'm going to go bankrupt. What am I going to do? How do I do this? I've got a lot of employers who have 2 companies.
Right.
We've got the 25 administrative office. We've got the restaurants who got 700, 600 employees. They don't even want the insurance. They're like, if it, take a penny out of my paycheck and I don't want it. What is that employer going to do? I'm trying to figure out a solution. It's really, really hard.
Are you hearing from employers who are saying, screw this, I'm just going to pay the mandate?
You know what? Some of them, like the restaurants, they're cutting hours. Everybody except my top management, we're talking all the chefs, servers, bus people, 28 hours a week, that's it. Because we just cannot afford to do this.
What's your personal strategy coming January? What are you going to do?
Oh my goodness. I don't know.
Probably the most honest answer I'll hear all
I do
week.
not know.